Second situation of lesson 5. Well, in this first situation, there are two boys, right? You don't need to follow with your book open. Just listen and try to understand what is going on. Well, there are two boys in this situation, and they are in their bedroom. It is already night, and they are sleeping, or they're supposed to be sleeping because now they woke up because of a noise. Before I tell you about the noise, you have to know that they are sleeping on bunk beds. Bunk beds, of course, is one when there's one bed on top of the other, right? So there is a boy on the bottom bunk bed, and there is a boy in the top bunk bed. The boy in the bottom bunk bed calls his brother. His brother's name is Alex, to tell that somebody is knocking on the window, right? Probably you know that song, right? Knocking, 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 knock. I know. I don't think it's knocking, knocking, knocking. I think the song is knock, knock, knock on heaven's door. Well, in that case, there is somebody not knocking on heaven's door, but knocking on their window. But the second boy, I think it's completely strange. It doesn't make any sense that somebody is knocking on the window because their bedroom is on the second floor. So who would be like floating in the air knocking on their window? It doesn't make any sense. But the other boy is sure he heard somebody, and then they are intrigued, of course, right? So I believe they get close to the window, and then they hear again somebody knocking on the window, right? And then one of the boy that is in the top bunk bed, says, "Hello, is anyone out there?" And then nobody answered, right? So they probably think, well, it was just the other boy's imagination or some other noise in other place. But when they open the window, they see their older brother, Ray, and they're very surprised. Actually, what was happening? Ray was throwing, small rocks, at the window to make, noise. Why? Because he want his brothers to let him in. Okay, but not why not you using the door? Because it's in the middle of the night. Probably the boy was at a party and his father doesn't know he was at the party so late, That's why he tells the brothers when the brothers look at him and say Ray, they're surprised, so they say it out loud, right? And then he says, "Come on, be quiet. Do you want to wake the whole neighborhood?" And then, well, you may think, well, the brothers will help the older brother, but as the boy is waiting there for his brother, for his brothers to open the door for him, and as he's there, he's afraid that his father will find out, right? Because his father will be very mad. Who appears? Who gets out of the house? Of course, the father. And the father is absolutely mad, right? And then, of course, the boy tries to say he can explain, but how can you explain something like that? So the father says, "Shut up." All right. He doesn't use the expression "shut up." He says, "Not a word." All right. Get home, at once. Get inside at once. At once is the same thing as immediately, right? And then in the end, of course, the punishment comes. He says, "You're grounded." All right. So remember, when you are grounded, there may be many kinds of being grounded, right? I don't know. taking the boy's cell phone for a long time, not letting him go to parties, giving him a lot of chores. We don't know what is the punishment, but the boy is grounded. Okay? Okay, so here's my big challenge for you. Okay? What is my big challenge for you? I will read the whole situation with you, right? Just for you to practice pronunciation. And after we do that, you're gonna close your book and try to do something similar to what I did. All right. If it's too hard, do it with the book opened once, but then try again with the book closed. Why with the book closed? Because I don't want you to be influenced by the book, and then I don't want you to repeat big parts, of the situation. I don't want you to tell the story like this. Well, there is a boy and he says, Alex, somebody's knocking on the window. And then the other boy says, there can't be. I don't want you to use so much of the situation, okay? So I want you to tell the story with your own words, even if you forget some parts, even if some parts you change a little bit, there's not a problem. Okay, so repeat after me. Alex, somebody's knocking on the window. Repeat, knocking. Please don't try to pronounce the K in knocking, okay? It's just knocking. Just like the verb no, no knocking. So repeat. There can't be anybody at the window. There can't be anybody at the window. I'm sure I heard someone. I'm sure I heard someone. Hello? Is there anyone out there? See? No one answered. Ray? Be quiet. Do you want to wake the whole neighborhood? Do you want to wake the whole neighborhood? Are you just getting home now? Oh, sorry, before that, I forgot one part. Just let me in. Just let me in. Are you just getting home now? Yes, and if Dad finds out, he'll be mad. Yes, and if Dad finds out, he'll be mad. You're absolutely right, young man. You're absolutely right, young man. Dad, I can explain. Not a word. Get inside at once. Not a word. Get inside at once. You're grounded. That's perfect. And remember, the title of the situation is caught. Caught, right? Caught is the past of catch. If people catch you doing something wrong, you are in trouble. So don't forget, I know this exercise I propose to you is pretty challenging, but believe me when I say it can take your English to another level.